All right, let's talk about something that pretty much everyone in quantitative finance has run into, but maybe doesn't talk about enough. We're not diving into some complex new model today. Nope, we're talking about the data. You know, that messy, often fragile foundation that everything, and I mean everything, gets built on top of.
So, let me just ask you this straight up. Think back to your last big project. What was the single thing that gave you the most grief? The part that led to late nights, frustrating bugs, and just headaches.
I'm willing to bet that the first thing that popped into your head wasn't about alpha or some sophisticated algorithm. It was probably something like, where is that file? Or why won't this notebook run the same way twice? Am I right? It was the data.
And this quote right here, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. This is going to frame our whole conversation today because brilliant ideas, they're everywhere, but they just can't take root and grow on shaky ground. That's the real problem we're going to get into.
So, let's dig into this real quant struggle. What does this fragile foundation actually look and feel like when you're just trying to get your work done?
Oh, you know how it goes. The cracks appear almost immediately. You've got a bunch of different CSV files for the same asset, but of course, they all have slightly different column names. Then you download the data again just to be sure, and bam, now you've got a ton of duplicate rows. And don't even get me started on symbols changing over time, breaking all your old code. Suddenly, there's no single source of truth. It's just chaos.
And all of that chaos, it all leads to this one single dreaded question. The one that just sends a shiver down your spine because you know there's a good chance you can't actually answer it with 100% certainty. And just like that, reproducibility, it's gone.
Now, this isn't just about being a little disorganized. This is a real systemic issue, and it even has a name, the research production gap. Let's break down what that actually means.
So here's the core of it. We write all this code in notebooks for quick experiments, right? To test ideas fast. But then we kind of expect that exact same code to just work reliably every single day, like a production system. The problem is it was never built for that. It's missing that one critical piece, a solid, dependable data layer underneath it all.
So how in the world do we fix this? Well, it's not about writing more complicated code. It's about a complete shift in how we think, getting away from chasing down temporary files and moving toward a more permanent, structured way of doing things. I mean, just look at the contrast on this slide. It's so clear. On the left, you have that file-based chaos. It's a series of panicked questions about where things are and if they're right. But on the right, that's database-based clarity. You're not asking where, you're asking what. You state what you need, and the system just delivers it. That mental shift is exactly what QuantmodDB is all about.
And that brings us right to the solution itself. So let's pop the hood and see how QuantmodDB actually helps you make that leap from total chaos to total clarity.
It's all built on three really simple but powerful principles. First, instruments, a stock, an index, whatever, are treated like real objects, not just some random text string you typed. Second, all your price data lives in one central trusted place. No more hunting for the right file. And third, and this is the best part, you talk to it all using the language you already use every day, Python.
And this perfectly shows what I mean by that third point. You are not writing some complex SQL query here. You're just asking a simple, readable question in plain Python. Get me the prices for Apple and NVIDIA starting from this date. It's clean, it makes sense, and you can reuse it everywhere.
So you might be thinking, okay, this is cool, but my model is what really matters. And you're not wrong. But here's the thing. Good infrastructure isn't a distraction from building your model. It's the very thing that makes good modeling even possible.
Just take a look at this comparison. It's night and day. With a fragile data layer, every little experiment is a slog. Trying to work with a teammate is almost impossible because nobody trusts the data. And scaling? Forget about it. But with a strong data layer, research suddenly gets way faster. Your code actually becomes reusable, and moving to production feels like a natural next step, not a complete painful rewrite.
So who is this for, really? Well, it's for anyone who's felt the pain we've been talking about. It's for the quant researchers who are just sick and tired of CSV chaos. It's for Python developers building financial tools, for educators trying to teach real-world best practices, and for any fintech team that's trying to finally bridge that frustrating gap between a great idea and a real working product.
Let's just end on this thought right here, because it says it all. If that question has ever crossed your mind, that feeling that the supposedly easy part of the job turned out to be the absolute hardest, then you get it. You know exactly what problem this is built to solve.
The goal here isn't to add more complexity. It's to get rid of the friction so you can finally focus on the insights, not the infrastructure. So the real question is, what could you build if you never had to ask which CSV ever again?